Welcome to the Kutch. What a beautiful place, what a magical place. And this calls for a celebration, this calls for something extraordinary which has never been done before. And the post-independence era that we are living in India, and I might sound a little bit philosophical, but matter of fact is that we are living in such an era. There's a lot of innovation, a lot of stuff going on in India. But let me introduce myself first to you. My name is Sandeep Gajjar, also known as the Photographer, and I'm here to show you what advancements India is making in two-wheelers, especially in electric two-wheelers. And this place is an amazing place because that two-wheeler has taken birth in this state of Gujarat, right here in India. And the place, Kutch, Rann of Kutch, is an amazing place to unveil, to show you this magic. I have done 66 countries on motorcycles, big capacity motorcycles and small capacity all over the world, of course. And they have been always internal combustion engines. And this is the first time I'm actually going to discover a new place on an electric vehicle. So for me, this is going to be a test of how I will respond, like most of you, to the future which seems inevitable, to a future which is already here. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Matter Aera 5000 plus right here in the Rann of Kutch. This is a goosebump moment for me because this product, when I first saw, is just very, very well put. I didn't expect this because I first saw this in the Auto Expo. And then here, the whole environment has changed. It is in its natural territory. And most importantly, I'm going to ride it. But you know what? Discovering such a beautiful place, it's best done when you don't have one Matter Aera, but two. Presenting this awesome color, which I like to call the Nardo Grey with the green neon accents. This is looking absolutely stunning. But who is going to ride this? So let's call upon high heels motorcyclist.
Hello Sunny. Hello everyone. Or rather I could say Namaste. Kem cho?
Majama.
This is Ankita Aurora and I have been motorcycling since 11 years. I ride the little class naked motorcycle and always I have ridden the ICE motorcycles. This is very first time that I'll be riding the electric vehicle into, such a magical terrain.
Wow guys, this is one of the most spiritual places I've ever been to. This is the road to heaven. On either side you have the Rann of Kutch lake. Seems more like an ocean or a sea rather than a lake. Can't imagine how it must be looking under a full moon. Let's talk about man-made beauty. Here I have the Aera. The lines are very well flowing. I think it's like not overly futuristic, but it's got the right amount of details, the right amount of mass, I think. If you ask me, the top three things for me, number one are the front integrated DRL and indicators, which take up the entire front scoop here on either sides. Then the headlight is also pretty interesting. It's got a projector lamp and then there are also DRLs around it. The TFT, the console over here, it's humongous. It's a touch screen. If you look it from the side, this looks like a very long motorcycle. In fact, it looks longer than what it is. And the bodywork just complements the whole thing. In first look, you can actually mistake this for an ICE engine rather than an electric, and that's how well the battery is integrated inside this. And this space over here, it's packed in just the right amount of manner. The highlight, the centerpiece of this is this window where you can see the spinner with the Matter logo, which spins proportionate to how fast you are going or how much throttle you are giving, and that is something which is very interesting. Not only that, you also see oil inside it. Why is there oil in? Because you also have a gearbox, which is one of the major things which is different in this electric motorcycle than other EV vehicles out there.
Because you have the gearbox, which is one of the major things that makes this bike as India's first and only geared electric motorcycle.
Aera will be coming in different colors, and one of my favorite colors is the grey with neon accents. Now there is also something which is very prominent on the bike, the number 07 written on the either side of the tank. This represents something very interesting, which is also reflected in the name Aera, which means air in Greek. So these are the 7 elements of the universe, and air is one of them. So if I can just have the luxury of deducing, extrapolating, the other models which will be coming up from Matter stable will obviously probably be named after the other 6 remaining elements. What do you think about this place, Ankita?
So this is absolutely very beautiful and very serene, and I'm actually feeling like I'm meditating on this road, on this machine.
One of the advantages of an electric vehicle, especially a motorcycle like this, is you can hear your environment, you can absorb it, all the sounds. There are no sounds to disturb you, and the only thing which you can hear is the waves, the crashing, either side of the road. This is very unique. And of course the wind, the air, which is Aera over here. That when you have a heavy and big motorcycle, or if your height is little less, how difficult it can be to take out your motorcycle out of difficult parking spots, or even just push it back.
I'm 5 feet 2.5 inches. Usually I ride on most of the time on my toes. In the reverse gear, I definitely always have an issue. So in this motorcycle, the park assist is really helpful. So I don't need a help. Press the park assist and then give it throttle, and it will easily take your bike like the way you want. Definitely it is very helpful for a shorter rider like me.
Great. But we have to go forward,
Yes.
not reverse. Let's go.
This is 0 to 60 test under 6 seconds.
भैया चार्जिंग पॉइंट मिलेगा क्या?
क्या फोन चार्ज करना है?
नहीं फोन नहीं, बाइक चार्ज करनी है.
This is another thing that the range anxiety is taking care of to a certain extent, because you have everything that you need to charge this motorcycle right here in the bike. Let me show you. So here we go. We have this, and all you need is a mobile phone charging port. Basically now you can also charge a motorcycle. Well, it's no longer a mobile phone. This is mobility at another level. It is so easy. I mean, this will get easier as you go. Obviously, this is not comparable to a fast charger, but still, something is better than nothing. If you just, run out of battery, you can sleep on the cart, under the stars, and while the bike charges. Let's go inside and order some food. This is something which I never imagined, that we sitting on a cart and having food and while the bikes are getting charged. So this is actually a 5 kilowatt hour battery. I have ridden this in eco, city and sports mode, and I felt a distinct difference, between all the three modes. It's like there are three different kind of motorcycles.
And I would say that the sports mode was our favorite mode.
The torque is available right off the bat, and that's why these are so exciting. And yet at the same time, you might think you are a very experienced rider, but you have to be very careful with your right hand on this. The matter also says is that using OTA, over the air updates, this can actually become a whole different new motorcycle, which is actually quite interesting, because this is what used to happen in mobile phones, and now it's going to happen with our motorcycles. And that's like welcome to the future. This was my first time, and imagine doing that on an electric motorcycle, and that too completely made in India, research in India, right from the software down to the tires, like everything. It's a different feeling, and this place is basically a mix of both traditional and the future, the modern India, which you can see over here in the form of matter Aera. There is a term called petrol heads. Petrol heads are basically, people who drive or ride internal combustion engine. But now I think the term has to, change a little bit. We have to call ourselves motorheads. Yeah. We motorheads right now are pretty impressed with this motorcycle. And even though this is a pre-production bike, which means that this will have even better finishing quality in terms of software, it will be even better.
Color and the tone.
Yes.
And the looks of the motorcycle, it is, completely amalgamating with the, the atmosphere right now, that it is very, very colorful. And
so the livery also is pretty minimalistic. Yeah. And 07, of course, is my number.
It is also giving the, naked sports kind of
a
feel.
Absolutely.
So it is like very good for the, it is a urban kind of a motorcycle.
In science fiction movies like Tron and, Fifth Element and all these movies, they used to put this sound, when those hovercraft, kind of vehicles, they used to fly past. And actually that is coming true today. So that is why, we are also saying these things are very futuristic, but they are the present. So I think the future has arrived quite early. We have not spoken about the seat, which I personally love, because the way they have actually done the design and everything, the grooves.
Even the pillion seat is so formed with these handles, pillion easily can grab it.
I'll tell you what makes or breaks a product. The looks, no matter how much you deny. In the real world, if you have to go sell a product, especially a motorcycle, it is the looks. Me being a visual artist, I love the looks and I'm sold to it. It has surpassed my expectations, because when I first saw it in Auto Expo, it didn't come across as striking as this. But right now I can say that, I would like to own a motorcycle like this, if it is designed like this.
Giving an extra punch into a daily life. So for urban and city areas, this bike is very calm, lightweight and easy to handle. So definitely I can go for it.
What is one thing you think is the most important in an electric vehicle?
The battery is the most important part.
Absolutely. I was hoping you would say that. If you have a fast charger, then you can do the same, I think, in less than 2 hours. This makes the bike a lot more easier to adopt. The battery, the motor, everything is actually thermally managed, which means it's liquid cooled, and that also means that it will increase the life of the battery. Having a liquid cooling system in such a small form factor, along with the battery and everything, is actually a good engineering practice, which all electric vehicles must adopt, I feel. There needs to be a good battery management system, PMS. Matter says that they have actually built the BMS. It's very robust and they have tested it a lot. You can only know how robust this is when you get it down to the real world. The key is also, of course, it is FOB. So basically, I mean, there is geofencing and everything, which is, which has been associated with, vehicles, electric vehicles like these. But the way they have implemented, I think I'm quite impressed. This also has offline maps from Map My India, which was a pleasant surprise, because if you actually go down and you want to go, let's say, to Bhuj, which is around 80 kilometers from here, the whole map is there. You can just type it in and press start, and that's it. And even though it is offline, you still have a SIM card, which can give you probably traffic data, and which can also give you some other stuff. I have not seen such a finesse in any other motorcycle which is made in India, electric motorcycle so far. And I'm happy to say that the first edition of this motorcycle, Matter Aera, has come out really well. Ahmedabad based company, guys, Matter, and it doesn't seem so. I mean, before I end this today, right from the logo to the whole thing, how they've put everything up, it feels like it's more like, for the lack of a better word, in the traditional way that us Indians used to say, ये इंडिया की लग नहीं रही है, ये कोई imported motorcycle लग रही है. So tomorrow what we are going to do is we're going to wake up a little early and we're going to go to the white Rann, which is basically, there's a lot of salt, that's why it's white, and we're going to try and catch the sunrise with these beautiful motorcycles. Look at this, guys, sunrise, and I'm in the middle of the White Run, which is also the largest salt desert in the world. Well, one of the largest, and it also reminds me of the Bonneville Salt Lake Flats, on which I rode a motorcycle in 2011. That was amazing, and this is crazy. I am privileged to have witnessed this, and this is my first time over here. And what crazy is as well that we have these motorcycles that we have been riding. The bikes were performing really well, and I'm just happy to say that, as a biker, I can accept this two-wheeler, and I can call it a motorcycle.
Absolutely.
What do you think about this place? And what do
you think about this outfit?
That's what I was wondering, like initially when she came in the morning.
I am perfectly in my gears. You can see I wore the riding pants, boots, and my jacket. I thought that, give a little color, little
This
touch
is Gujarati traditional.
This is Gujarati tradition.
It's looking amazing. Like the color of the bike and you against this white landscape, it's just looking amazing. India is about colors, India is about traditions, festivals, and accepting different kind of personalities, people's religions, and God knows what. Talking about religion, and for us petrolheads, sound in a motorcycle, having the feeling of being engaged with a motorcycle, like pressing the clutch, using the gear, everything, that is paramount. And that is what this bike is actually trying to do, is trying to get that experience from the ICE motorcycles to the electric motorcycles that we are seeing over here. And that is why Matter has worked so hard in ensuring that we get a gearbox. You have to actually use the clutch, engage the gear, go and keep changing the gear as you want. This is going to be a game changer. A lot of people, a lot of companies, they just don't bother making a gearbox, and so if you want to equate the power which this bike has, the Aera 5000, it's equivalent to a 160 or 180. So I remember, I'm kind of back to full circle in my head that this motorcycle is the equivalent of my first motorcycle that I had. And this can be a lot of people's first motorcycle. This can be a lot of people's daily runner, urban runner. This can also be kept in your drawing room as a display piece. I mean, it's so beautiful. It's very easy to put together an electric motorcycle. You've got the drivetrain, you've got batteries, you've got the software, everything is available from companies like White Labeling. But what Matter has done, a deep respect for them, that these bikes, these beautiful, amazing looking motorcycles, they're actually made in India and not far from here, like few hundred kilometers from here. And this is what India is all about.